Alright guys, we are back and it's time for another build. Today I'm going to be building a new AR, so let's jump into it. So I finally rounded up all the parts and pieces I need for this build, and I think it's going to be a pretty cool one. And it's going to be based off the Sabre line from Palmetto State Armory. The Sabre line is kind of their upper end of AR builds, and they've got parts and pieces and kits and all sorts of stuff, so you guys can build out your own. It's going to be based around this Sabre upper receiver, and I'll go over all the details of this once we jump over to the bench, and I'll show you all the other parts on how we're going to build this out, and then we'll hit the range and see how this thing does. First off, if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you go do that. Share the videos, like, comment, all that stuff. It really helps out the channel. For that YouTube reviewer out there watching this, I'm building this from a kit that was purchased on a serialized lower. So when you're going through this video and saying I'm modifying a firearm or showing how to disassemble or assemble or whatever, you can pause, check out the screenshot of the little timeout test that I had to take when my channel got a warning where YouTube said it was okay if you build a gun from a kit. With that out of the way, let's jump over to the bench. I'll show you all the parts that I got for this, go through some of the specs on them, tell you why I chose them, and then we'll get this thrown together. So this is the upper that I'm going to be using that I showed you in the beginning. This is out of the Sabre lineup, and one thing that's cool about Palmetto is they utilize a bunch of products from a bunch of different companies to build some really good parts for the do-it-yourselfer. So this one's going to be chambered in 5.56. It's got a 1-in-7 twist. It's a 14.5 inch barrel with a pin and weld muzzle device on here. This is a Silencer Co. ASR muzzle device, so that'll work with my suppressor. The barrel in this is cold hammer forged chrome moly vanadium. It's made by FN, so it's a really stout barrel. It's made just for Palmetto, and their hammer forging and chrome moly and all that stuff is really strong. Supposedly it's referred to as machine gun steel. It's the same steel that FN uses in their barrels, and the chrome lining that they put inside of this is almost twice as thick as a standard M16. So this is going to be a very durable, long-lasting barrel. It's got the ASR flash hider that's pin and welded on the front, which Palmetto does an excellent job. I've got a couple of them and I've never had any issues with them. It's got the Palmetto forged upper receiver. This one is a mid-length gas system that has a Geissele gas block that is cross-pinned to that barrel. It has the Geissele 13.5 inch Mark 14 rail on here. These are an awesome rail. It's got the steel inserts for your QD points. It's got M-lock on 3 different sides, a full pick rail on top. One of the best lockups in the business as far as locking up to that barrel nut and being sturdy. This one does come with a Radian Raptor LT charging handle. The bolt carrier group is a PSA Custom Fathers of Freedom bolt carrier group. It's got a Spring Co. extractor spring, a Carpenter 158 bolt, which is magnetic particle inspected. The gas block's all staked, everything. So this is going to be an awesome starting point for a complete upper receiver for this build. For the lower, I also got a Palmetto State Armory forged lower. This is nothing fancy. It's very lightweight, and I think that'll work really good. Like I mentioned, I got the build kit. So this is out of the Sabre line as well. It comes with a B5 SOP mod stock, buffer tube, buffer spring, the plate, everything you need. It's also a Spring Co. spring in here. It's got a Bravo B5 grip. That's in flat dark earth. And then all the lower parts, a trigger guard, bolt catch. It comes with a 2-stage Sabre trigger that's DLC coated. Comes with a Radian ambidextrous safety selector. It has the mag catch, and then it has Battle Arms Development takedown pins. So those are going to be all the lower parts that we're going to be using for this build. I am going to throw on a Geissele Maritime bolt catch on this. I like how that's a little bit bigger pad for your finger. I've got a Sabre cantilever mount for the optic I'm going to be using. This one is the MSR, also in flat dark earth. So I think that'll look good and kind of go with the flow of the theme of this gun. And I'm going to be mounting a Strike Eagle 1:8 lpvo on here. So I'll pull this mount off and obviously use the Sabre mount, but that's the optic I'm going to be using on this. And then I've also got this Tiger Claw foregrip that I'll throw on there, see how I like it. This one's in black. Die-Frico makes awesome products. Their grips are some of the best. I really like them. I wish this kit came with one of their grips because they're one of my favorites. I like the grip angle and everything. And this stuff's relatively inexpensive, so I'm going to be throwing that on there. And like with all my videos, I will have a link in the description that takes you to my website where I'll have a build list, so you can find more information over there about all this stuff that I'm using, the kit that I got, and all that stuff, as well as Ballistically Challenged merchandise. If you want to help support the channel, pick up a hat or a t-shirt or hoodie, whatever, go over there, pick something up, or you can scan the QR code and it'll take you right there as well. And then this is my suppressor. This is an anechoic Anacox 35, so it's 35 caliber. And I have the Bravo ASR mount on here. This is the suppressor I'm going to be running. It's all titanium, one of the lightest weight suppressors on the market. It has the hub mount so you can put whatever mounting system you want on it. I chose to do the Silencer Co. ASR. So that's the suppressor that I'll be running once we hit the range. So let me get some of this stuff cleaned up and we'll get throwing this thing together. we got her finished up, and here's how it turned out. That wasn't a bad project at all. Went together pretty good. One thing I do hate is roll pins. That's really the only thing that I fought a little bit, is getting some roll pins in on that trigger guard, on that bolt catch. But other than that, it went together really smooth. I got everything torqued down, even if I didn't show it on camera. So guy in the comments that says I didn't torque that castle nut or something like that, everything's torqued down, ready to rock and roll. And I think that turned out pretty good. Got that anechoic suppressor up front, that Vortex Strike Eagle 1-8 up top with that Sabre cantilever mount, that Sabre upper, lower, comes with that B5 furniture on there, and the Sabre trigger is actually very surprising. Let me show you what this looks like. So there's the take up. Nice crisp break. Solid reset. I'll measure the pull weight on here and throw it up on the screen for you guys. And like I mentioned before, I will have a link in the description where you can follow the QR code. I'll have a build list over at my website. I don't sell anything over there, YouTube reviewer, other than t-shirts and hats and hoodies. But I will have a build list that shows some information about the stuff that I use. But I'm gonna throw this back on the vise, throw a couple patches through it right now while it's brand new, make sure it's nice and clean. And then let's hit the range. Well, come on. Get your hand out of your pants and let's go to the range. All right, guys, I've made it up here. We're gonna get the first shots through that Sabre build we just threw together. I got my target set up over here. I got a steel target and an Infinite Defense self-healing target. That Infinite Defense target's a pretty cool target. It's self-healing. You don't have to worry about ricochets or anything like that. When you're done with it, you can just hit it with some spray paint, reuse it. Then I've got a standard steel target, AR-15. I'll have both of those over at the build list as well if you guys want more info on those. We're just gonna be shooting some Full Metal Jacket 223 through this. These are going to be the first shots through the Sabre build. First off, that trigger is awesome. This is the one that comes in the kit. I think it has Hyperfire springs with it. That feels really good for a mil-spec type trigger. Like I said, I think they put the Hyperfire springs on it, but that's feeling really good. No issues so far. I'm gonna throw that anechoic suppressor on here real fast. We'll see how that does. See if we have any malfunctions with that. Our ejection pattern right now is about 4 o'clock-ish, roughly. No issues with the suppressor. It did change our ejection pattern a little bit. It's hitting right towards you guys about 3 o'clock right now, which isn't bad. I don't mind that at all. It doesn't seem overgassed. I'm not smelling any gases or anything like that. So I'm gonna put some more rounds through this. There's our first magazine. I'm just using standard low capacity magazines for this test, so you know. This is running awesome. It's getting a little warm. I don't know if you can see the heat coming off of that. Suppressor will do that for you. I am noticing right here by where my hand goes is right over top of that gas block. That's getting a little warm. I may throw some N-lock slot covers on there, kind of keep some of that heat in off of my hand. I don't have to be wearing gloves or anything like that with a gun like this, so that's one thing I might do, but it's shooting really smooth and everything's functioning how it should. One thing that does bother me with these mil-spec type lowers is right in here where that trigger guard connects. There's kind of some sharp points which hits my finger right there. That's the only discomfort I'm noticing. I may file those down a little bit when I get home and smooth that out a little so it's not kind of a hard spot on my finger. Well, that's the Sabre build. Ran flawlessly, didn't have one hiccup on stovepipe, one failure to feed, failure to eject, anything like that. It shoots nice and soft, runs perfectly fine, suppressed or unsuppressed. So I'm really digging this build. So that is the Palmetto State Armory Sabre build chambered in 5.56. While we were out there, this thing ran flawlessly. I didn't have any issues. The biggest surprise was that trigger. I was expecting that to be a mil-spec trigger, and come to find out it does have those Hyperfire springs in there, so that's a huge plus that comes in the build kit. Like I mentioned, there are a few things that I would like to change on this. One is to get some rail covers to control some of that heat on my hand when I'm shooting it suppressed, because that gas block is right there underneath where I place my hand on there. And then I'll probably just file down some of those sharp edges on that trigger guard, make it a little more comfortable, because I did notice that kind of digging into my finger when I was gripping that. But other than those few little things, this was a fun, quick project to put together. I will be doing an update video on this here in the near future once I add a few other parts. I also may change out that foregrip for a flat dark earth one to kind of accent the build a little more. So make sure you're subscribed, so when I film that update video, you'll be able to see that. But Palmetto is putting out some quality parts. They're kind of taking the game by storm with quality, budget-friendly builds that are kind of geared towards the do-it-yourselfer, or you can purchase rifles that they build. So that's a pretty cool option. They've been excellent to work with. Huge shout out to them. Don't forget to follow the link in the description or follow the QR code. Check out the build list. I'll have information over there on the stuff I use, including tools and including that Real Avid gun vise that I used in the video. That thing's a game changer, especially when mounting optics and needing to position your project in different angles and stuff to get it put together. So go check that stuff out. Pick you up a hat or a t-shirt. But as always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that thumbs up button, and we'll check you guys on the next one.